items of Bhakti. So I just, maybe on the chat, everyone can put an emoji or something of how they're feeling today. I know that today might be a little bit more tough. We've started our fasting, but I'm sure with all the association of everyone, it's fun and easy. Today I went to Gita Bhavan in Mayapur, and there were thousands of devotees fasting, so it was really nice. And His Holiness Jayapataka Swami also came, and he was also honoring prasadam with all the devotees. I'm so happy to hear that many of you are really excited. Also, just want to emphasize that today is day 1 of Bhisma Panchaka Vrat. So you can get a lotus flower, or if you don't have a lotus flower, you can offer in your mind to the lotus feet of Krishna. And then also when you're bathing, to call out Ganga, 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 Ganga 3 times so that we can mentally bathe in the holy river. And I also sent a video in the WhatsApp channel about how we can do our sankalpa. So His Holiness Jayapataka Swami sent a message today saying that we should all do our sankalpa today on Ekadashi day. So in that video, I think it's like the first 4 minutes, it describes how to do sankalpa. It's very simple. You just need one achaman cup and one little like bowl. And yes, even if you're not able to fast, don't worry. Just continue doing the other parts of the Bhisma Panchaka Challenge. And Krishna will definitely be very happy and pleased. So somebody, just to clarify, we're still researching if the tarpana with the Brahmin thread can be done by Matajis and those of us who are not second initiated, but the Sankalpa part can be done by everyone. So, and anyways, we can still get the same benefit by bathing in the Ganga 3 times, and we can still chant the prayers for Bhishma Dev, and we can honor him by reciting the Bhisma Stuti. Okay, and last announcement is that today we're doing Ekadashi, so you can still follow, if you're doing Havisha level or the fruits and roots, okay, how do I explain? So tomorrow it is not necessary to break Ekadashi with like grain. You can if you want to, but you don't have to. You can continue your fasting until Purnima, moonrise. And today, even though it's Ekadashi, and even we're still not like eating normally, like tapioca or sabudana or all those things, we're still going to follow like the fruits and roots or the Havisha part for the rest of the day, except today, if you chose the Havisha level, then of course we cannot have rice. Okay, I hope that was clear. Now I'm just going to share my screen so we can chant our round of Japa together. So if you have your Japa mala, you can get it out. Also your lamp for Damodar Ashtakam. Okay. So let's invoke Srila Prabhupada's blessings by chanting his pranam mantra. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram, Ram
Ram,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Ram.
Ram Hare Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Hare
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 Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna,
Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Ram Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Ram Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Ram Ram Ram, Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna,
Ram Hare Ram,
Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare
Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare
Ram 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 Hare Hare,
Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram Ram Hare
Ram Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Ram Ram, Ram Ram Hare
Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare
Ram, Ram Ram, Ram Ram
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram Hare Hare,
Ram Hare Ram, Hare Krishna,
Ram Ram Hare Hare,
Ram Ram Hare Hare, Krishna 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 Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Krishna 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 Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare,
Ram 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 Hare Hare,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram Hare Hare,
Ram Hare Hare,
Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram, Ram
Ram Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare, Ram 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 Hare Krishna,
Ram Ram Hare Hare,
Ram Ram
Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare, Ram 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Krishna Govinda Ji Ki, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Shri, Ram Hare Shri, Ram Hare Shri, Ram 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 Hare Hare, Ram Ram Hare Shri, Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, टेबल वन कर चुके हैं, कितने बार करोगे?
Hare Krishna, everyone. Now we'll recite our Bhishma Stuti. So if you weren't able to finish your mala, you can finish maybe after the Sangha. So we'll continue with our shlokas from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Shri Bhishma Vacha iti matirupa kalpita vitrishna Bhagavati Satvata Pungave Vibhumni Swasukam Upagate Kvachid Vihartum Prakritim Upeyushi Yadbhava Pravaha Tribhuvana Kamanam Tamala Varnam Ravikara Gauravara Ambharam Dadhane Vapur Alaka Kulavritana Nabjam Vijaya Sake Ratir Astume Navadya Yudi Turagarajo Vidumra Vishwak Kachalulita Shamavarya Lankritasye Mama Nishita Sharer Vividhyamana Tvachi Vilasat Kavachestu Krishna Atma Sapadi Saki Vachoni Shamya Madhye Nija Parayor Balayor Atam Niveshya Stitavati Parashani Kayurakshna Hitavati Partasakeratir Mamastu Vyavahita Pritana Mukam Nirikshya Swajana Vadat Vimukasya Dosha Buddhya Kumate Maharadatma Vidyaya Yash Charanarati Paramasya Tasya Mestu Swanikamam Apahaya Mat Pratigyam Ritam Adikartum Avapluto Ratashta Dritarata Charano Bhyayat Chaladgur Haririva Hantum Ibham Katotariya Shita Vishika Hato Vishirna Dhamsha Shataja Paripluto Atatayino Me Prasabham Abhisasara Madvadartam Sabhavatu Me Bhagavan Gatir Mukunda Vijayarata Kutumba Attatotre Dritahaya Rasmini Tachriye Kshaniye Bhagavati Ratir Astume Mumurshor Yam Iha Nirikshya Hatagata Swarupam Lalitagati Vilasa Valguhasa Pranaya Nirikshana Kalpito Rumana Kritam Anukritavatya Unmadandha Prakritim Agan Kila Yasya Gopavadva Munigana Nripa Varya Sankulanta Sadasi Yudhishthira Rajasuyayesham Arhanam Upapeda Ikshaniyo Mamadishi Gochara Esha Aviratma Tamimam Aham Ajam Sharira Bhajam Hridi Dishtitam Atma Kalpitanam Pratidrisham Eva Naikadarkamekam Samadhigatosmi Vidutta Moha. So yesterday we read first 3 shlokas. So if we could have somebody raise their hand that would like to read one verse. Okay, Devamrita, Lilamrita.
Yes, Mataji. Acha, have to read the translation.
Yes.
In obedience to the command of his friend, Lord Sri Krishna entered the arena of the battlefield of Kurukshetra between the soldiers of Arjuna and Duryodhana. And while there, he shortened the lifespans of the opposite party by his merciful glance. This was done simply by his looking at the enemy. Let my mind be fixed upon that Krishna.
Can I have Vedant?
When Arjun was seemingly polluted by ignorance upon observing the soldiers and commanders before him on the battlefield, the Lord eradicated his ignorance by delivering transcendental knowledge. May his lotus feet always remain the object of my attraction.
Thank you. And Yash?
Fulfilling my vow and sacrificing his own promise, he got down from the carriage, took up its wheel, and ran towards me hurriedly, just as a lion goes to kill an elephant. He even dropped his outer garment on the way.
Okay, so thank you everyone so we'll continue the other shlokas tomorrow. And then for now, if anybody would like to lead the Damodarashtakam prayers. Let me just clear yeah, so you can raise your hand. And if you could please turn on your video so I can see. Okay. Okay, we can have Prajusha Mataji. So we'll just sing one shloka and then a little bit Mahamantra until Gauranga Darshan Prabhu joins us.
Hare Krishna, Dhanavad Pranam. Namamishwaram Sachidanandarupam Lasatkundalam Gokule Brajamanam Yashodabhyolukaladavamanam Paramrishtamathyanta Todrutya Gopyam Namamishwaram Sachidanandarupam Lasatkundalam Gokule Brajamanam Rudantam Muhurnetra Yugmam Rajantam Karamboja Yugmena Shatankanetram Muhushvasakam Patrire Kankakanta Sithagraivatam Bhakti Bhatam Iti Driksvalilabhirananda Kunde Swagosham Nimajantam Akyapayantam Tadiyeshitanyashu Bhaktirjitatvam Puna Prematastam Shaktavriti Vande Param Deva Moksham Na Mokshavadim Va Nachanyam Vraneham Vareshadapiha idam teva purnata gopala balam sada me manasya virasam kimanye idam te mukambojam atyantanile vritam kuntale snigdha raktesha gopyam मुहुशुम्बितं बिम्बारक्तादरामे वनस्या विरास्तामादां लक्षलाभे नमो देवदामोदरानन्त विष्णो प्रसीद प्रभो दुःखजलाब्धिमाग्नम् कृपादृष्टिवृष्ट्यादिदीनं बतानु गृहाणेश मामज्ञामेद्यक्षिदृश्याम् कुबेरात्मजौ भद्रमूर्त्यै यत्त्वात् त्वयामोचितौ भक्तिभाजौ कृतौ च तथा प्रेम भक्तिं स्वकामे प्रयाच न मोक्षे ग्रहो मेऽस्ति दामोदरेह नमस्ते स्तुदाम्ने स्फुरदीप्तिदाम्ने त्वदीयोदरायात विश्वस्य धाम्ने नमो राधिकायै त्वदीयप्रियायै नमो अनन्तलीलाय देवाय तुभ्यं नमामीश्वरं सच्चिदानन्दरूपं रसत्कुण्डलं गोकुले व्रजमानम् Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Yashoda Damodara Yashoda Damodara Radhe Jaya Radha Damodara Radha Damodara Radhe Jaya Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Srila Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Srila Gurudev Shri 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 Damodar Bhagwan ki Jai Shri Shri Damodar Bhagwan ki Jai
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for leading us in the Damodar Ashtakam. So while we're waiting for Gauranga Darshan Prabhu, I'll just respond some questions that I'm seeing in the chat box. So for chili is not allowed no chilies allowed or oil or spices for the Havisha. It's just rice, some ghee, potato, and unripe banana, like a khichdi, just like that. And you can eat as many times as you want during the day. Here in Mayapur, we have breakfast and lunch prasadam, and then you can also have like dinner time as well. And no, makhana is not allowed. So it's not like a normal Ekadashi fast. So then I sent the list of what we're allowed to have in the WhatsApp channel. So better to just stick to those. If nothing else has been mentioned, it's because it hasn't been mentioned in the Hari Bhakti Vilas. So we're not sure, like if especially some like fruits and roots that are found like in the Western countries, it hasn't been mentioned in the Hari Bhakti Vilas, so we don't know. So better just stick to like potato, sweet potato, ginger, and the fruits that have been mentioned, like apple, banana, pears, mandarin. And when we say dried fruits, it's not all dried fruits. It's only like we cannot have strawberries because it has too many seeds. Also figs, no figs because it has too many seeds. So dried fruits, like you can have dates, dried mango, apricot. No, no jag. Okay. Okay, chestnut, I'm not sure. Yes, you can offer lamp at any time that you want. In the morning, in the evening. Oh, so we have Gauranga Darshan Prabhu here with us now. So thank you so much, Prabhu, for joining us and blessing us with your association. And you're the perfect person to hear about the glories of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. So all the devotees are very excited to hear from you, Prabhu. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hare Krishna. Am I audible?
Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Shall we start now?
Yes, Prabhu. And you can speak for as long as you want. You have an hour if you want, however much time you can.
Okay.
Thank
I
you.
start, and whenever you get bored, you let me know, I'll stop.
Definitely we won't get bored.
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Gnananjanashalaakaya चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण। I offer my humble obeisances to all the devotees who have assembled in this call in large numbers. And I offer my humble obeisances to Gaurangi Gandharvika Mataji, who organized this Shravanotsav, a series of sessions on the 5 potent forms of bhakti on this occasion of Bhisma Panchak during this auspicious Kartik month. With your blessings, I would like to speak on the topic that Mataji has asked me to speak on, that is glories of Shravanam, right? Glories of hearing Krishna Katha. Yes, the process of Shravanam or hearing Krishna Katha is the foremost process in the Navadha Bhakti. I can see very little children also here. I'll try to keep it as simple as possible so that everyone can understand. I can show some shlokas also if they would like to recite. Can I share screen?
Oh, yes, of course, Prabhu.
So, Shravanam or hearing Krishna Katha is one of the foremost processes of bhakti. As we know, there are 9 processes of bhakti: Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnoha, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atmanivedanam. Out of these 9 processes of bhakti, Shravanam comes first. Yes, Kirtanadeva Krishnasya Mukta Sangaha Param Vrajit. By doing Kirtan, by chanting the holy names of Krishna, we can definitely attain the spiritual world, especially in Kali Yuga. So Kirtan is definitely recommended process for self-realization. But for us to be able to chant the holy names of Krishna sincerely and with devotion, with affection, we need to understand the glories of holy name. We need to understand the potency of this process of chanting the holy names, and that happens by Shravanam. Unless we sufficiently hear the glories of the holy name of Krishna, how can we be inspired to chant the holy names of Krishna? Therefore, our inspiration in Kirtan comes from our absorption in Shravanam. The more we hear Krishna's glories, the more we hear about Krishna's Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela, his name, form, pastimes, and activities, the more we are eager to chant his names, the more we are eager to glorify him. So then Shravanam, then Kirtanam. You heard about Krishna, you started glorifying Krishna either through words or through singing or by chanting his names or by glorifying his pastimes. You did some Kirtanam. Kirtanam is not just singing the names of the Lord. Kirtan is also speaking the glories of the Lord. That is also Kirtanam. Basically, Kirti means glory. Kirtana means to glorify. And that glorification of the Lord can be done in multiple ways. Right? You can glorify the Lord's Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela through your body, mind, and words. With words, you can glorify. That is one type of Kirtanam. Within your mind, you can think of the Lord. That is another type of Kirtanam. With your actions, you can serve the Lord. That service is also glorification of the Lord. So with your body, mind, and words, you glorify Krishna's Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela. That's all Kirtanam. And that inspiration to do all this comes from Shravanam, hearing about the Lord. So Shravanam and Kirtanam will help us do Smaranam, the third process. Smaranam means to remember Krishna. In fact, that remembrance, constant remembrance of Krishna is the essence of all spiritual processes. The scriptures say like this: Smartavyaha satatam Vishnor Vismartavyo na jatuchit Sarve vidhi nishedhasyur etayor eva kinkaraha. Smartavyaha satatam Vishnu. Always remember the Lord. Vismartavyo na jatuchit is never forget him. Sarve vidhi nishedhasyur etayor eva kinkaraha. So all the prescriptions and prohibitions, all the rules and regulations, all the do's and don'ts in all the scriptures are centered on this one essential principle. Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. Right? So this is the glory of Smaranam. So for us to be able to do Smaranam, we should do Sravanam. We should do Kirtanam. So Sravanam, Kirtanam are very important and essential for us to do Smaranam. So there is a shloka in Bhagavatam. Yadanudhyasina yukta karma granthi nibandhanam chindanti ko vidastasya ko na kuryat katharatim. Yadanudhyasina yukta means to always remember Krishna. By always remembering Krishna, karma granthi nibandhanam, our bondage in this material world is cut. Karma granthi nibandhanam, our fruitive bondage is cut. And how can we remember Krishna and cut our fruitive bondage? Kona kuryat katharatim, by having katharati. By having rati means attraction towards hearing the pastimes of the Lord, hearing the glories of the Lord. You hear about Krishna, then you develop an eagerness to remember Krishna always, and by that remembrance of Krishna, you will come out of this material bondage. So unless we hear, we cannot chant, we cannot remember, and other processes also will follow. First, we need to hear about the Lord. Now let's discuss a few glories of Sravanam as much as possible within the available time. So as I said, Sravanam is one of the 5 potent forms of bhakti. Rupa Goswami has given 64 limbs of bhakti, and out of them, he mentioned that 5 are very potent, Panchanga Bhakti. And out of these 5 potent forms, the forms are hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, chanting the holy names of Krishna, residing in a dham like Vrindavan, Mathura, and also doing Vaishnavas and worshipping the deities. So these are 5 potent forms. Out of them, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam is one potent form. And there are 9 processes of bhakti, as we discussed some time back: Sravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam. In that, Sravanam is foremost. So what else, what other proof we need to understand the importance of Sravanam or hearing about the Lord? Now, let me discuss more practical benefits of hearing Krishna Katha. How many of you, there are some more than 400 devotees here, how many of you feel that your bhakti is unsteady? It's not very steady. You understand what is steady or unsteady? Unsteady or anishtita bhakti means sometimes you are eager to serve the Lord. Oh my God, so many hands are raising. Okay, enough, I understand. We are all sadhaka bhaktas. So, like sometimes we are very eager to chant, sometimes we are not eager. Sometimes we are very eager to serve, sometimes we are not eager. Sometimes we are very eager to hear, sometimes we are not. Sometimes we are eager to go to temple, sometimes, oh, who will go to temple? Let me relax. So this is called anishtita bhakti, unsteady performance of bhakti, right? Now, why our bhakti is unsteady? Because of anarthas within our heart. And how to make the bhakti steady? By hearing, by Sravanam. I will prove my point. So we can come from unsteady practice of bhakti to steady practice of bhakti by hearing Krishna Katha. So by hearing Krishna Katha, by doing Shravanam, our unsteady performance of devotional service will become very steady. Let me prove this by quoting 2 shlokas. Anyone would like to recite the shlokas? Maybe some kids may try. Yes, Shambhavi, oh, you're here. Pravishtaha karnarandhrena. Yeah, unmute yourself, Shambhavi. Pravishtaha karnarandhrena.
Pravishta karanarandrena
Swanam saroruham.
Svanam bhavasaroruham
Dhunoti shamalam Krishnah.
Unoti shamalam Krishnaha
Nilasya yatha sharat.
Nilasya yatta sharat
Next. Nashtaprayeshva bhadreshu.
Nashta prayesha badreshu
Yam bhagavata sevaya.
Nityam bhagavata sevaya
Bhagavatyuttama shloke.
Bhagavatyuttama shloke
Ter bhavati naishthiki.
Bhaktir bhavati naishtaki.
Okay, these are the 2 shlokas we are going to discuss now. We have been reciting this shloka Nashta Prayesha Bhadreshu very regularly. In many Bhagavatam classes also, many speakers recite this shloka Nashta Prayesha Bhadreshu, right? So what is the meaning of this shloka? when we hear Srimad Bhagavatam, the anarthas within our heart are completely removed. Then our bhakti will become steady. Basically, the reason for the unsteadiness in bhakti is anarthas. What are the anarthas? Being very greedy, being too materially ambitious, kama, krodha, being very angry, lobha, being very greedy. So now, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Trividham narakasyedam dvaram nasanamatmanah kamaha krodhastatha lobha tasmadetattrayam tyajit. Krishna says this. How many of you know this shloka? I hope you know. So there are three gateways to hell. First is kama, desire, intense material ambition, that is kama, right? When that kama is not fulfilled, when our desires are not fulfilled, there is krodha. Krodha means anger. Unfulfilled desires will lead to anger, krodha. But when the desires are fulfilled, then that will lead to lobha. Lobha means greed. You had some desire to attain something, and you attain the desire. Then after fulfillment of the desire, you will not be satisfied. You will be overwhelmed with a greed to earn more. Right? Nowadays, people are so much into social media. Somebody gets 100K followers. So good, ambition is fulfilled, 100K followers. I don't know, I want 200K now. I want 1 million now. So they get 1 million followers. Then they will aim for 2 million followers. It's good to expand preaching. No comments on that. But point is, sometimes we also become greedy for material things, not only spiritual things, right? So when our desires are fulfilled, we hanker for more. So kama, when it is fulfilled, leads to lobha. Kama, when it is unfulfilled, it leads to krodha. Somebody wants to fulfill one desire, and the desire is not fulfilled, then they become very frustrated, they become angry, they start shouting at people. So kama, krodha, lobha, three material desires. And similarly, there are many other things, many other gateways to hell, that there are arishad vargas, right? Kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya. So we discussed about three things: kama, desire; krodha, anger; lobha, greed; mada, pride, intoxication, right? Mada. Matsarya means envy. Now, when you are better than others, you feel proud. When others are better than you, you feel envious, right? So sometimes when we are envious, we see pride in others. And when we are proud, we see envy in others. Have you noticed this? The pride within our own hearts will make us perceive envy in others' hearts. And the envy in our own hearts will make us perceive pride in others' hearts. And it's the other way around also. When we are envious, we see others as envious. When we are proud, we see others as proud. Like that, these anarthas are overwhelming us. Kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya. Moha is illusion. So much of confusion, bewilderment. We are not having very clear thought process. We are indecisive. We are confused. We are going here and there. So these are the 6 prominent anarthas. And because of these anarthas, our bhakti is unsteady. Right? We began the topic by saying that our bhakti is unsteady, right? So the unsteadiness in bhakti is because of these anarthas. And how to destroy the anarthas? By hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, by Shravanam. Now let's go back to the shloka. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu. Abhadra means anarthas. The anarthas that we just discussed. 6 kind of anarthas. So those anarthas are vanquished. How are they vanquished? Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, by regularly hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, by doing Shravana. And this also includes serving devotees who have internalized the principles of Bhagavatam. Right? Then, Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. So by destroying your anarthas by hearing Bhagavatam, your bhakti will become Naishtiki. Naishtiki means steady bhakti. So because of this abhadras or anarthas, bhakti is unsteady. So for that unsteady bhakti will become steady bhakti by doing Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Therefore, let us not underestimate the potency of hearing Krishna Katha, hearing Bhagavatam. We may say somebody is narrating Govardhan Leela story. Recently, we celebrated Govardhan Puja, we celebrated Deepavali. We may think that I already know Damodar Leela, why should I hear again? I already know Govardhan Leela, why should I hear again? I can even narrate Govardhan Leela nicely. Many little children are here. You know Govardhan Leela, children? You know Damodar Leela? Riyanshi, Tungavidya, Yash. You all know Damodar Leela. But how many of you are eager to hear Damodar Leela again? Last year I have heard around Diwali time. Again you are hearing, right? Same Leela we should hear again and again. So we should never think that I already know this pastime, I already know this shloka, I already know this philosophical point, I already know this scripture, I already know this chapter in Bhagavatam, I need not hear. It's not about knowing. Now I have a question for you. You have taken breakfast yesterday. You have taken breakfast day before yesterday also. Will you skip breakfast today? When there is Bhisma Panchaka, you may skip. But generally speaking, although we eat on a daily basis, we continue to eat every day. Even if we take a break, maybe 1 or 2 days we'll take a break occasionally, but we cannot perpetually live without food, right? Unless we are great yogis. So just as eating food, taking prasadam will feed our body, will keep our body strong. Hearing Krishna Katha will keep our soul strong. Right? For the soul to remain spiritually strong, we need to regularly feed spiritual food of Krishna Katha, descriptions of Krishna's Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela to the soul. Otherwise, soul will become very weak. And when the soul is weak, that weak soul cannot practice bhakti. Weak soul cannot experience any taste in Krishna Katha, taste in different devotional activities, devotional services. Right? We need to strengthen our soul by feeding the soul the food of Krishna's Nama Rupa Guna Leela. Just like you have your phones. So you keep this phone for charging for some time. It's fully charged, 100%, battery full. Then you will use the phone for, say, 1 full day. And the battery is 20%, 10%, or 30%. Then you cannot continue like that. You have to keep it for charging. Similarly, we need to hear Bhagavatam regularly and charge our spiritual batteries. Now, when we hear Bhagavatam, you know what happens? Now this sloka simply says that all your anarthas are destroyed when you hear Bhagavatam. But how are they destroyed? The process is described in the next sloka. Pravishtaha karana randhrena svanam bhavasaroruham. Whenever a devotee hears Srimad Bhagavatam or Krishna Katha in general, Krishna enters the ear holes of the devotee and sits in the hearts of the devotee. This ear is the door. This heart is the home. For some guest to enter your home, you need to open the door, right? Similarly, for Krishna to enter your heart, you need to open the ears and hear. Now you may question me. Krishna is already there in the heart as Paramatma. Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishto yavam mattah smritirjnanam apohanam cha. You may even quote other shlokas. Ishvaraha sarva bhutanam hriddeshe arjuna tisthati. So, Krishna is already there in the heart. Why should we invite him again by hearing? You may say like that. Yes, definitely. Krishna is there in the hearts of every single living being. But how many people realize it? How many people acknowledge it? How many people really understand that Krishna is there in my heart always? So for us to remember that Krishna is always there, for us to be constantly aware and conscious of Krishna's presence in our hearts, we need to hear Krishna Katha regularly, right? And that's the significance of this shloka, where it is said that Pravishtaha Karnarandhrena. Pravishta means to enter. Karnarandhrena means ear holes. Karna means ear. Randhra means hole. So Krishna will enter into our ear holes and he will go and sit on the lotus of our heart. Right? Bhava Saroha means lotus emotions of a devotee. Svana means devotee. And when we hear Krishna Katha, Krishna will enter through the door of our ears and he will sit in the home of our hearts, and Dhunoti, he will destroy or he will wash away. Shamalam Krishna, that Krishna will completely wash away all the contamination of Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsara in our hearts. Right? That's the meaning of this shloka. We are inviting Krishna to enter our ear holes. You need to drink Krishna Katha. You drink a beverage in a bowl through your mouth. But you drink the nectarian beverage of Krishna Katha in the bowl of your ears and take it into your heart. Right? So you are inviting Krishna into your hearts. Whenever you are hearing Krishna Katha, you are inviting Krishna into your hearts, right? Then your unsteady bhakti will become steady bhakti. Now, one more important point. I already made this point, but I'm just quoting a supporting reference. Anyone would like to recite this shloka? Little longer shloka? Yes, this 3-4 kids are here. Oh my God. Vihan? Sa uttama shloka mahanmukhachuto
स उत्तमश्लोकमहन् मुखच्युतो
bhavatpadambhoj sudhakananila
भवत्पदाम्बुजसुधकनानिल
smritim punarvismrtatattvavartmanam
स्मृतिं पुनर्विस्मृत तत्त्ववर्तमानम्
yoginam no vitaratyalam varaihi.
कुयो गिन्ना नो वितरति अलं वरै
A long shloka. I will not go into word to word meaning of this, but I'll just speak the essential point here. Whenever we are hearing Krishna Katha, Bhavat Padambhoja Sudhakananilaihi Sa Uttama Shloka Mahanmukhachito. When a sincere devotee is speaking about Krishna, the saffron dust particles of Krishna's lotus feet, which are there in the devotee's heart, will emanate from the mouth of the devotee. And when the vibrations of Krishna Katha enter into our ear holes, then Krishna will personally enter our ear holes. And very important point here, Smritim punar vismrita tattva vartmanam. Whether you remember this full shloka or not, remember this one line. You know what is our condition? Vismrita tattva. Smriti means remembrance. Vismriti means we have forgotten. Opposite of remembrance. We have forgotten. What did we forget? Vismrita tattva. We have forgotten our tattva. What is our tattva? We are servants of Krishna. What is Jiva tattva? Jivera swarupahai Krishna kya das. To be eternal servants of Krishna is our constitutional position. That is our tattva. We are meant to serve Krishna, but we have forgotten it. That is Vismrita tattva. Vismrita tattva vartmana means we are wandering in this material world, forgetting our original identities as servants of Krishna. But by hearing Krishna Katha, smritim punar, our remembrance is revived. Punar means again, smriti means remembrance. So we will again remember. We will again become aware of our original identity as servants of Krishna by hearing Krishna Katha. Got it? So we will remember that we are servants of Krishna, and all the anarthas within the heart like lust, envy, pride, greed, they will be destroyed. We'll develop love for Krishna. We'll attain Krishna. What else you want? And we'll get inspiration to serve Krishna. All this happens by hearing Krishna Katha. Now that we are celebrating Kartik month, and Kartik month is very much connected to so many beautiful pastimes of Krishna, especially childhood pastimes of Krishna. Krishna performed Damodar Leela in Kartik month. Krishna lifted Govardhan mountain in Kartik month. Recently we celebrated Gopashtami. Krishna began tending cows in Kartik month, right? So now all these childhood pastimes of Krishna are very special aspects of the Sravanam process. Sravanam means hearing anything about the Supreme Lord. You can hear about different incarnations of the Lord, different glories of the Lord, different philosophical aspects. All this is hearing only. Under the umbrella of Sravanam, you can hear many things. But under that umbrella of Sravanam, hearing Krishna's childhood pastimes, which he did in Vrindavan, are very sweet. That has a special position. Now, there are 7 effects of hearing Krishna's childhood pastimes. How many of you are eager to hear Krishna, not Krishna's childhood pastimes, the 7 effects of hearing Krishna's childhood pastimes? Let's recite this. Yes, Tunga Vidya, Gopakumar, and all these kids, please recite this. Yena yena avatarena Bhagavan Haririshvarah Karoti karna ramyani Manognani chanah prabho Yachrinvatopaitya vitrishna त्वं च शुद्ध्यत्यचिरेण पुंसः
सत्त्वं पुंसः
भक्तिर्हरौ तत्पुरुषे च सख्यम्
सख्यं
व्यवहारं वद मन्यसे चेत्.
तदेव हरं वद मन्यसे चेत्.
These two shlokas, which are spoken by Parikshit Maharaj, describe 7 effects of hearing Krishna Katha. Okay, let's hear. I have made a list for you. First effect, Karnaramyani, especially Krishna's childhood pastimes are very pleasing to the ears. Karna means ears, Ramyani means to be very satisfying and pleasing and appealing. So, first effect of hearing Krishna's Balya Leela is that they are very pleasing to the ears. Second, Manognani, very, very attractive to the mind. So the sound is very pleasant to the ear, the meaning is very pleasant to the heart. Right? Some songs impress us with their music, but when you get into the lyrics, not so impressive. And some songs impress us with their lyrics, very meaningful lyrics. But if the music composition is not good, then you will not have good effect, right? So you need to understand the meaning also. The meaning should be appealing to the heart, and the melody should be appealing to the ears. Bhagavatam is like that. Bhagavatam shlokas are so beautifully written in perfect meters. Very rhyming shlokas. Tadeva ramyam ruchiram navam navam. Tadeva shashvan manaso mahotsavam. Very, very sweet shlokas are there in Bhagavatam. So they are very, very nicely written shlokas, perfectly composed shlokas. Meter is perfect, meaning is perfect. When you recite it very nicely in good melodies, that will appeal to the ears. So in melody, meter and meaning, Bhagavatam shlokas will impress your hearts, especially 10th canto shlokas, right? So Bhagavatam, Krishna's childhood pastimes are very pleasing to the ears and very attractive to the mind. Third effect, apaiti aratir, they destroy apathy. Apathy means you don't have much interest to even sit in a class, right? You don't have much interest to hear Krishna, hear Bhagavatam. But when you hear Krishna's childhood pastimes, you have some interest. Oh wow, wonderful, wonderful! I want to hear more. So whatever apathy or disinterest you have in hearing Krishna Katha will be completely destroyed by hearing childhood pastimes of Krishna. Then with Trishna, Trishna means hankering. Have you seen some devotees? They're very eager to hear. They hanker to hear. When is the next class? Oh, class time, 8 o'clock. I need to attend Bhagavatam. They don't want to miss even 1 minute also. They have a lot of hankering. They have Trishna. But we don't have so much Trishna. Oh, because they are taking attendance in our Bhagavatam class. If I am absent, I have to write Hare Krishna Mahamantra 54 times. I have to pay some fine. Therefore, let me go and sit. Or many times people may go and sit in Bhagavatam class as a duty, as a formality, as an obligation, as a social commitment or whatever, but they are not relishing it. But lack of relish in Krishna Katha will go away by hearing Krishna's childhood pastimes. So whatever distaste you have, that will go away. Means when you say arati, you are not sitting in the class only. But when you hear Krishna's childhood pastimes, you will start sitting in the class. With Krishna, you're sitting in the class, but you are unable to taste it. So you will be able to taste it when you hear Krishna's childhood pastimes. Then fifth effect, Sattvam cha shuddhyati achirena. Very soon the heart is purified. Sixth effect, Bhaktir harau. We will be attached, devotionally attached to Krishna. Right? We will develop bhakti for Lord Hari. Seventh effect, Tat Purusheta Sakyam. We will also develop wonderful relationships with other devotees. Please understand, it's a very, very important effect. How many of you are interested to have loving friendships with other devotees? You like to have friends, devotee friends, right? If you don't have devotee friends, if you have to rely only on our karmi friends or materialistic friends, so many people have to study in schools where all these school children may not be devotees. Many have to work in offices where all the colleagues may not be devotees. So such people who are interacting with outside world, when they come to devotee association, they feel soothing effect. Ah, wow, thank God, I'm back with devotees. I'm able to see tilaks and kantimalas everywhere. I'm able to see bead bags hanging from everybody's hands. So that's such a soothing effect to be in the association of devotees. But sometimes, although we get an opportunity to be with devotees, to stay with devotees, to associate with them, we quarrel with those devotees because of lack of friendships, because of lack of nice relationships. But how to build those relationships? There may be hundreds and thousands of tips. So many tips may be there to build relationships. Like you have dadati, pratigrahanati, guhyamakhati, pruchati, exchanging gifts, sharing your hearts. All these are great, wonderful tips. Empathizing with people, sympathizing with people, extending a helping hand. Whenever they are stuck, you go and help them. You feed them prasadam. All these ways are wonderful. But Bhagavatam also reveals us an important way of developing relationships with devotees. You know what is that important way? Hearing Krishna's pastimes. When you hear Krishna Katha along with other devotees, your friendships with other devotees will become more strong, right? And when you further discuss those pastimes amongst the devotees, your hearts will come closer. Please understand, we are not interested only in going back to Godhead or going to Krishna alone. We are interested in going to Krishna and serving Krishna together. So, our movement in bhakti, Krishna is here and we are here. Our movement in bhakti should not be just like this. Our movement in bhakti should be like this. You got it? The movement? So we need to come closer to each other and together we need to go closer to Krishna. Not that I need to go closer to Krishna. Parallel lines. You go in your way, I will go in my way. 100 devotees are there, 100 different paths. Right? No, all 100 can sit in one bus and go to Krishna. So let's go together with Krishna. That camaraderie should be there. That friendship should be there. Of course, you may not be having close friendship with every single devotee in the community, but at least you have some few close friends, plus good, reasonable relationships with everyone else. So that is sufficient at least. But bhakti is best relished in the association of devotees, and we will develop that good friendships with devotees by hearing together, by discussing Krishna's pastimes together. You want proofs? I'll give. Let's go to Bhagavad Gita. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna said, Macchitta madgata prana bodhayantaha parasparam kathayantascha mam nityam tushyanti charamanti cha. Macchitta. Devotees are always conscious of me. Madgata prana. They dedicate their lives to me. Bodhayantaha parasparam. They enlighten each other. They discuss with each other Krishna's pastimes. Tushyanti charamanti with great satisfaction and happiness. So this is the activity of a devotee, constantly discussing about Krishna. Now, if you go to Vrindavan, Goloka Vrindavan or Bhoma Vrindavan, earthly Vrindavan, 5000 years back, there may not be big kathas going on, pandal programs with big sound systems going on there, but constant Krishna katha is going on. When you see two gopis come together, two gopis come together, you know what do they discuss? They just discuss how Krishna came to their homes and stole butter. See, Krishna came to my home and he broke butter pot. He has given this butter to all the monkeys. I have hanged my butter pots from the ceiling, and Krishna managed to throw some stone without making any sound, and he made a small hole very expertly, and all the milk is just flowing like a tap, and Krishna drank. And today I tried to bind Krishna, but Krishna escaped. I tried to bind Krishna with a rope to our pillar. I got a rope, but I was unable to bind Krishna. Then Krishna said, I will show how to bind people. You don't know how to bind people. You are very innocent. So Krishna took the rope and Krishna made that gopi stand against the pillar. And Krishna did parikrama of that gopi holding the rope. So he tightly bound her hands and legs completely and she could not move. And Krishna said, this is how you need to bind me. And he ran away. Right? So this is what Krishna does, and all the gopis of Vrindavan constantly discuss about Krishna's mischievous activities. This is their constant activity. Gopas sit together, discuss about Krishna. Gopis sit together, discuss about Krishna. In Venu Gita, the gopis come together and then discuss that you see Krishna is playing flute. When Krishna is playing flute, he attracts the attention of all the cows and the calves and the gopas and the gopis and the devatas who are traveling in airplanes. And by hearing Krishna's flute song, even big stones, hard stones melt, and flowing rivers will get stunned and then stay there only. And restless birds will close their eyes and then hear the music as if they are sages meditating. So they are discussing the effects of hearing Krishna's pastimes and hearing Krishna's flute. This is constantly going on. Yado hane vahanane mathanopalepah prenkankhanar bharudito ksanamarjanado gayanti chainamanurakta dhiyo shrukanthyo dhanyavrajastriya urukrama chittayanaha. Yadohane, while milking their cows or cleaning their grains, cooking, sprinkling water or cow dung water in their courtyards, or taking care of their crying babies, or swinging on swings, or doing whatever simple household activities. Gayanti chaina manurakta dhiyo shrukantyo. All the gopis are accustomed to constantly sing the glories of Krishna. They are discussing about Krishna. One gopi will speak about Krishna's glories, other gopis will sit and hear. This is amongst the Madhurya gopis. Sometimes there is a meeting between Madhurya gopis and Vatsalya gopis, right? So in the 21st chapter, there is Venu Gita. That's a full discussion about amongst the Madhurya gopis, younger ones. But sometimes these younger gopis will go to Mother Yashoda's home, and they start narrating Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan's forest to Mother Yashoda, and Yashoda Mata would hear, right? And sometimes Yashoda Mata will speak, and the gopis will hear. So constant hearing about Krishna is going on in Vrindavan. And in separation from Krishna also they glorify Krishna. When they see Krishna, they glorify Krishna. When they discuss about Krishna, when they don't see Krishna, they still discuss about Krishna. So these are the effects of hearing Krishna's pastimes. Now, athanyadapi krishnasya toka charitamad manusham lokam asadya tajjati manurundhatah. Of all the pastimes of Krishna, Krishna's pastimes as a human child in Vrindavan, as a cowhead boy, are most enchanting. Now, let's conclude our discussion by one beautiful shloka spoken by the gopis of Vrindavan in the middle of Gopi Gita. How many of you know Gopi Gita? How many can sing? Now let's discuss one shloka. There are 19 shlokas in Gopi Gita. We are discussing the 9th shloka. It is said that Srimad Bhagavatam is the essence of all scriptures. Yahasvanubhavam akhila shruti saramekam. Shruti saramekam. Bhagavatam is essence of all scriptures. Now in that Bhagavatam that has 12 cantos, the 10th canto of Bhagavatam is considered essence. And in the 10th canto of Bhagavatam, the 5 chapters that are describing Krishna's rasa dance are considered even more cream, ecstatic. So in those 5 chapters, the middlemost chapter is Gopi Gita. In that Gopi Gita, the middlemost shloka, or somewhere in the middle, is Tava Kathamritam shloka. Now we are going to discuss the essence of the essence of the essence of the essence of Bhagavatam. Let's see this. Tava Kathamritam Tatta Jivanam Kavibhiriditam Kalmashapaham Shravanamangalam Srimadattatam Bhuvi Grinantiye Bhurida Jana. Now let's discuss this shloka in greater detail. First, Tava Kathamritam. The gopis of Vrindavan are saying, Krishna, your katha is like Amrit. What is this Tava Katha? I think this is too many details. I'll just focus on this one slide. Tava means Krishna's. Katha means his topics. Amrita means nectar. All of you know. So the gopis are describing the glories of Krishna Katha in this shloka. And that Krishna Katha is of 2 types. That nectarian Krishna Katha is of 2 types. Number 1, there is a quiz at the end. Okay, I'll ask you some questions before you ask me questions. Please hear this carefully. So Tava Kathamritam means Krishna's Katha is like Amrit, nectar. So that Krishna Katha is of 2 types. Number 1, Katha spoken by Krishna Number 2, Katha spoken about Krishna. The Katha spoken by Krishna is Bhagavad Gita. The Katha spoken about Krishna is Srimad Bhagavatam, and many other scriptures, of course. So, 2 types of Krishna Katha. So, you got the 2 meanings of this first phrase. Let's go to the second phrase. Tapta Jivanam. Tapta means those who are suffering, those who are struggling, those who are undergoing different miseries. Jivanam means life. Oh Krishna, your Katha or Krishna Katha is the life and soul of all suffering people. We have seen the 2 meanings of Krishna Katha. Krishna Katha spoken about Krishna, Katha spoken about Katha spoken by Krishna. Then Tapta Jivanam also has 2 meanings, because Tapta means suffering, and there are 2 types of suffering people. You know who are they? Number 1, conditioned souls. They suffer because of their forgetfulness of Krishna. So they are one category of suffering souls. Second category of suffering souls are the pure devotees of Krishna. Why pure devotees are suffering? How can pure devotees suffer? You may question. Answer is simple. Pure devotees suffer because of separation from Krishna. The example is gopis themselves. Now in the Rasa Leela, Krishna began to dance, and suddenly in the middle, Krishna disappeared. Then the gopis are suffering in separation from Krishna. So pure devotees suffer because of separation from Krishna, and conditioned souls also suffer because of being separated from Krishna. But in pure devotees' case, their separation is characterized by remembrance of Krishna. But in conditioned souls' case, their separation is characterized by forgetfulness of Krishna. Conditioned soul is separated from Krishna because of forgetfulness. And pure devotee is in separation from Krishna. In that separation, the pure devotee is remembering Krishna always. But in either case, both are suffering. Both are in separation, both are suffering. And for the suffering souls, whether they are conditioned souls or liberated souls, the Jivanam, the life, is Krishna Katha. So the best example is gopis themselves. Now the gopis are in separation from Krishna. So in this situation of separation, the gopis are glorifying Krishna's pastimes. When Krishna left them in the Rasa Leela, they were discussing about Krishna's pastimes. Not only discussing, they were enacting Krishna's pastimes. One gopi would become Putana. Another gopi would become Krishna. And this gopi Krishna, this Krishna gopi will kill Putana gopi. Just like a drama performance. One gopi will become Kaliya. Another gopi will act like Krishna and will go and start dancing on the head of the other gopi. Right? So like that, they are enacting Krishna's pastimes. They are discussing about Krishna. They are glorifying Krishna. They are doing Krishna Katha in separation from Krishna. Therefore, Krishna Katha is Tapta Jivanam. Clear? Now, third point. Kavibhiriditam kalmashapaham. Kavibhiriditam. Kavi means poet, literally. Or you can also say scholar, philosopher, or a teacher. All these are kavis. But kavi basically means poet. Kavibhiriditam means great poets also glorify Krishna Katha. So Krishna Katha is narrated by or glorified by even great poets also. And the poets are again 2 types. You know who are they? Ancient poets like Sukadeva Goswami, Vyasadeva, Narada Muni. And contemporary poets like Prabhupada, Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur, are the recent acharyas. So Krishna Katha is glorified by ancient poets also and recent poets also, contemporary poets also. Now, ancient poets already glorified Krishna. Why should we glorify Krishna? Why should we again repeat the same pastimes? No, actually speaking, the Krishna Katha spoken by ancient poets is again spoken by contemporary poets in such a way that it is understandable, relatable, digestible by the modern people. Now, already previous acharyas have given different commentaries. Even before them, Sukadeva Goswami has spoken Bhagavatam. Now, if you take that Vyasadeva's Bhagavatam or Sukadeva Goswami's Bhagavatam, 18,000 slokas, and give it to a modern 2024 Gen Z boy or girl, will they be able to understand? They can't understand Sanskrit completely. Some people may, but not many people can understand. So that's why many acharyas have written commentaries on that Bhagavatam to make it more accessible to common people. But these commentaries were in Sanskrit language. So Sanskrit not many people know. So Prabhupada has translated all of them into English. Then people came to know. It's like that Krishna Katha or Srimad Bhagavatam or all these scriptures must be constantly explained. Generation after generation, they must be explained for the understanding of the new generation. Examples I have to change with new examples, with new anecdotes, with new case studies. We need to make that Krishna Katha or Bhagavatam philosophy accessible to common people. Therefore, contemporary poets are required. We need more and more poets and writers and people who are spreading Krishna consciousness, right? So Vyasdev has written 5,000 years back, but that knowledge is transmitted transparently by so many people with contemporary explanations, with an explanation in a language that is suitable, digestible, relatable, understandable, and actionable and practical for modern crowd. So these are the two types of poets. Fourth point, kalmashapaham. What is kalmasha? Contamination. Kalmashapaham means when you hear Krishna Katha, the contamination in the heart is gone, destroyed. Now, what is that kalmasha? Again, two meanings. I am giving two meanings to each phrase. So, kalmasha is of two types. One is the external contamination, second is the internal contamination. What is internal contamination? We already discussed some time back. Hridaya kalmasha. That is kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya. Right? So, hridaya kalmasha means the illusion, the lust, envy, pride, greed within the hearts of people. That is Hridaya Kalmasha. When you hear Krishna Katha, that contamination is destroyed. We already discussed with so many references. Now there is another type of contamination that is outside. That is Kali Kalmasha. Kali Kalmasha Ghanam. Kali Kalmasha means the contamination outside us, outside our hearts, which is much deeper. As somebody is casually walking in a city street, say Mumbai, you are just walking. Just 5 minutes if you walk in a busy street in Mumbai, you will be exposed to so much contamination. So many billboards, so many people smoking and then eating all kinds of intoxicants, speaking in foul language. So many things, so much contamination. Now, somebody may be innocent at heart, and such innocent person is walking in such a contaminated area, so much contamination will go in also. So they are walking and then so many hanging dead bodies of animals. People are standing in queues to purchase the flesh and then eat that, meat eaters, right? So much contamination around. Look, when you go to some flower market or vegetable market to purchase something, my God, contamination in the vegetables. All kinds of chemicals are there. Basically, Kali Yuga is filled with hundreds and thousands of faults. That is Kali Kalmasha. So, Krishna Katha on an individual plane can destroy the contamination within the heart of an individual devotee. And on a global scale, Krishna Katha can destroy the contamination of entire Kali Yuga. Kali Kalmasha, Hridaya Kalmasha. Two types of contamination are destroyed. Right? That's why it is called Kalmashapaham. Now let's go to the fifth point. Shravana Mangalam Srimadatam. Shravana means hearing. Mangalam means auspiciousness. So hearing will cause great auspiciousness. Now, again, two meanings. Every time we have to discuss two meanings. How Shravan or hearing Krishna Katha will create auspiciousness? Number one, by hearing Krishna Katha, the ultimate goal of Krishna Prema will become attractive. Second, by hearing Krishna Katha, the ultimate goal of Krishna Prema will become attainable. So, Krishna Katha will make Krishna Prema attractive and attainable. You got this? The difference between attraction and attainment. Now, sometimes you may not even pursue a goal because the goal is not attractive only. Like, for example, a student is there. He is asked to enroll in civil engineering. He is not finding it attractive only. He is not endeavoring to become a civil engineer. Because civil engineer, oh, I am not excited with this goal. Goal of life is to become civil engineer. Oh, no, I am not excited. Somehow or the other, some people spoke about how civil engineering has a very bright career, this and that, and somehow that goal became attractive to him. So he said, yes, I will become a civil engineer. I'll try for it. So goal became attractive to him. But just because the goal is attractive, that does not mean he will attain the goal. He has to work hard for it, right? He has to work hard to become a civil engineer. First step is to make the goal attractive. Second step is to work hard to attain the goal. So Krishna Katha, Shravanam is Mangalam because Shravanam will make the goal of Krishna Prema attractive and attainable. You know why people are not finding this Krishna Prema as the goal of life? They're unable to get attracted to this goal of Krishna Prema. They have so many other goals. I have this goal, that goal in life. I need to become a multimillionaire. I need to have this many followers on the social media, or I need to attain this much money, or I need to build this building, make this bridge. So people have hundreds and thousands of other goals in life, but how many people on this planet are able to have Krishna Prema as their goal? How many are aspiring to attain Krishna Prema? How many are endeavoring to attain Krishna Prema? This Krishna Prema, which is the ultimate goal, Prema Pumartha Mahan, is not sufficiently attractive to people because they are not doing Shravanam. If you do Shravanam, if you hear Krishna's Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela, then the goal of Krishna Prema will become attractive to you. And once you get attracted to that goal, yes, attaining the life's goal is to attain Krishna Prema. Once you become sufficiently excited about it, when the goal becomes attractive, then you start working on it, you want to attain it. And how can you attain it? By hearing Krishna Katha. It's the goal and it's the means. Once you get attracted to the goal, you need to put some effort to attain the goal, right? That effort is also to hear Krishna Katha on a daily basis, on a regular basis. Although some people may find a goal attractive, they're unable to reach that goal. I need to attain Krishna Prema, I need to attain Krishna Prema. But they're unable to reach. Why? There is no Sravanam. Because of lack of Sravanam, Krishna Prema is not attractive to you. Because of lack of Sravanam, we are unable to attain Krishna Prema. As simple as that. So Sravana Mangala means Krishna Katha will make the goal attractive and attainable. Srimad this Krishna Katha must be broadcast everywhere. Bhuvi grinanti ye bhurida janaha. Whoever is trying to broadcast this Krishna Katha everywhere, they are bhurida jana. They are the most munificent and most merciful benefactors of the entire humanity. Benevolent benefactors. Again, they are of two types. You know who are they? Number one, those who are actually speaking and spreading Krishna Katha. Number two, those who are facilitating Krishna Katha. Many devotees, they may not be speaking, giving a class as such, but they're contributing so much for the successful conduction of the class. Let the class be conducted nicely. Some people are arranging sound system. Some people are making advertisements. Some people are spreading the news, broadcasting it. So all of them are contributing for Krishna Katha, contributing for Sravanam. Their own Sravanam and another people's Sravanam. So those who endeavor to spread Krishna Katha, either by speaking or facilitating this whole Sravanam process, they are all Bhurita Janaha. So this is how Shravanam is glorified in Bhagavatam and in all our scriptures repeatedly. And what I spoke in the last, 50-55 minutes is not even a drop, not even a particle of a drop of the oceanic glories of Krishna Katha. You can just understand how vast are the glories of Krishna Katha and how vast is Krishna Katha itself. If the glories of Krishna Katha are so vast, how much, how glorious Krishna Katha itself is, right? So we need to take benefit of this opportunity that we have to hear Krishna Katha, hear Bhagavatam by the grace of Srila Prabhupada, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and all the great Acharyas. So I seek your blessings so that I don't just speak about the glories of Krishna Katha, but I should also nourish myself with Krishna Katha by hearing and by reading and by speaking in all ways. So I seek your blessings in this auspicious Kartik month. And I thank Gaurangi Gandharvika Mataji for organizing this 5-day series of katha from different speakers and exalted Vaishnavas. I'm just a small one amongst the big list of devotees there. If there are any mistakes in my presentation, I humbly beg your forgiveness and I seek your blessings for my sincere execution of devotional service without any distractions or deviations. So with this, I'll conclude. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhu, for your wonderful class. I was taking so many notes myself. There were so many pearls, so many gems, and it was truly inspiring for all of us to actually engage more in Krishna Katha. So thank you so much, Prabhu, and for you yourself being one of the benefactors that is spreading Krishna Katha around the world. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. Any questions or comments from anyone? Okay, I think we can conclude here. At 7:30, I have another class. I have 1 hour break to offer lamps. I will conclude here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. And we're so blessed to have, Gauranga Darshan Prabhu today, and yesterday Chandramauli, His Holiness Chandramauli Swami. I saw so many of you like writing so many notes as well. So let's try to actually put Prabhu's teachings into practice and try to engage in more hearing, more Shravanam. So then just in tomorrow, we'll discuss the glories of living in the Dham. So we have Her Grace Janavi Nimai Priya Mataji joining us. You may know her as Eternal Journey on Instagram. So then please join us tomorrow and please invite your friends as well. And I hope you have a blissful Bhisma Panchak today. And then tomorrow also is our 3rd day of the Bhisma Panchaka Challenge. So thank you so much for joining. I personally feel so inspired seeing all of you. And today I went to bathe in Mother Ganga, and I was trying to, I'm just a little soul, but I was trying to pray for all of the Bhishma Panchak participants. So hopefully Krishna is listening to us. I mean, I'm sure he is. He's definitely listening to all of you devotees, all of your sincere prayers and endeavors in your spiritual lives. So please also bless me that I can become more inspired and actually practice everything that we're discussing in these sanghas and the Bhishma Panchak. I'll just say, Hari Bol, everyone. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
Kalpataru Vasudha Kripasindu Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Nitai Gaur Anande, Hari Hari Bol.
That is very nice to hear.
Thank you, Mataji.
So beautiful.
Mataji, actually, I have a question. I have asked you in the chat box.
So maybe I can answer a few questions.
So, is any mantra to offer to Lord Krishna in the first day?
let me just. Okay, I'm just going to clear. So if you have, I can try to answer a few questions. I'll try to answer a few questions, so maybe you can raise your hand if you have. Many of the questions have already been answered yesterday, and day before, so you can find it on the YouTube channel. So I'll only respond to the questions just for the sake of time. So maybe if you could write on the chat box. So tomorrow I answered about the breaking fast. We're just going to we can continue our fasting until Purnima. And no honey is allowed. And tomato, lemon, also no. No pomegranate. Sugarcane juice, I think it is allowed, but I don't remember in which level. So that's also in the manual. I think jaggery is only allowed for level 2, the Havisha one. Yeah, that's all you can find in the Bhisma Panchaka Challenge manual. Berries, I'm not sure because it hasn't been mentioned in Hari Bhakti Vilas because it's not native fruit to India, so I'm not sure. I'm sorry. Yes, in the Havisha level you can have dried fruit, but not all fruits. It's only the fruits that we're allowed to have. So no fruits with too many seeds. And for Havisha level, it says milk, but not milk products. So we can have paneer, or yogurt, and all of that. So we're just trying to follow the list that was given. I don't really know so much about any extra. I have to do some research. Also, we'd have to do more research. And then anyways, this vrat is supposed to be austere. So this is why, the list is limited. We cannot add oil, chili, spices, honey to it's a tough austerity. But we already did day 1, so we only have 3 more days to go. So I shared a video of how to do the sankalpa. Sankalpa is kind of like a vow or a commitment by that, okay, I'm going to follow this Bhisma Panchak, and we're praying and requesting blessings from Krishna. And then the Tarpana, I also shared the video for Tarpana and Sankalpa. I'm not exactly sure. I asked His Holiness Jayapataka Goswami if, because in the video, there's a pic, the Prabhu is doing the Tarpana with his Brahmin thread. So then I asked like, oh, can women do it, or can non-initiated people do it? And he said that we need to research. So then, I think you can chant the mantras. Then the Sankalpa everyone can do. And then when you're taking a bath, you can call out Ganga 3 times. Okay, so I'm going to end the meeting now. And hopefully I'll see you all tomorrow. Hare Krishna.
Mataji, where do you send the video of Salkapana and Tarpana?
It's on the WhatsApp channel, the Bhakti Kids WhatsApp.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you
Hare
so
Krishna.
much.
Thank you so much, Mataji.
Thank you,
Mataji.
Pranaki.
Mataji, thank you.